I always find a unique sense of appreciation for stories that have experimental elements. Something that not everyone can appreciate from a technical level. Not that it's trying to alienate certain audiences, but more so feeling confident in its own style that won't appeal to the masses. Masaki Yuasa and Studio Madhouse's The Tatami Galaxy is a perfect example of a show that has artistic value in its uniqueness. Yuasa has mastered a directing style that gives his shows a unique sense of flair, and this style gives the show its own feel, even in regards to other Yuasa shows that I've seen, like Ping Pong the Animation or Devilman Crybaby. The show follows a unique structure, with almost every episode starting with the main character named Watashi, or myself, choosing a club offered on his college campus, with the episode ending with him failing miserably to pursue the rose-colored campus life. And then the clock resets all the way back to him choosing the clubs to see what would happen if he chose a different one. Now, this isn't a show that delves into time travel and how it affects the mental state of the main character like Steins Gate or ReZero. Tatami Galaxy more so uses the concept of time travel as a metaphor for decision making and thinking back to the beginning. Watashi is a cynical overthinker, constantly making up scenarios in his head about how if he chooses a certain club, that it will backfire and lead him to a miserable existence full of regret and suffering. His friends try to help him a lot, particularly the mischievous Ozu, but Watashi's own actions are the ones that dig his own grave. However, Galaxy isn't some kind of nihilistic show supposed to make the viewer depressed or anything similar to that feeling, and could be considered a dark comedy with psychological elements sprinkled in between. It is very much an anime that you can learn a lot from instead, involving your own pursuits of goals. The episode structure, along with the final episodes that I will indeed get into soon, really help the message sink into the viewer's mind, with a magnificent payoff that changes the viewer's perspective on the entire show. The main subject of this video that I wanted to talk about was the creative use of colors that Yuasa depicts throughout the show, and how it ties into the main theme of the show, along with it being just a cool touch to an already fantastic show. I personally believe that the Tatami Galaxy uses the colors in its presentation similarly to how a painting uses them. Whenever I think of the show, what comes to my mind immediately is an abstract painting of sorts, with a unique outline and color choices that are used to express creativity, and an aura of not being bound by conventional standards. Yuasa's directorial style isn't bound by conventional standards either, so he's a perfect director for a show like this. The entire metaphor for Watashi's rose-colored campus life is completely the opposite of what the narrative conveys, as Hikuchi himself says,
バラ色のキャンパスライフなど存在せんのだ。なぜなら世の中はバラ色ではない。実に雑多な色をしているからね。
The viewer's perspective is skewed from Watashi's point of view anyway, which is why Ozu's face shape changes in the last episode, where we finally learn his motivation. Once Ozu is humanized from Watashi's angle, he appears less like a demon, a fish, a snake, or any kind of monster that terrorizes our main character, and instead appears much more human compared to his previous design. I believe this also ties into the skin color of the main characters. Compared to other anime character designs, our main characters appear to have very pale skin, other than when a scene has a specific color that overtakes the screen. The characters are pale because it ties into the idea of the blank canvas. Before a painting is made, the canvas is of the purest white. I believe this is a metaphor for how humans are born, without purpose and without an identity of their own, or in this case, without a color to start with. Compare this to a fully made painting, with all sorts of unique color choices and combinations that the artist commonly uses. Compared to the standard pale canvas, any painting could be considered unique, even if it is poorly designed. Now, with this idea in mind, we can view the characters of the Tatami Galaxy in a different light, especially regarding the character design of Watashi himself. Watashi's design is consistent of pale skin with a white shirt and black pants for his common clothes. He's a standard black and white character who doesn't necessarily think outside the box regarding his life until the end. Now compare Watashi's design to the colorful designs of the other members of the cast. Even with their pale skin, their clothes are noticeably more colorful compared to Watashi. The only color that isn't black and white on Watashi's design is the color of his shoes being aqua colored, indicating that he still has the potential to lead a unique life like the others. We can even see this symbolized in the opening of the show. Notice how when the characters' faces appear, their skin color is the same as the backgrounds. But when Watashi is on screen, his skin isn't aqua colored like what's behind him. In my opinion, this is another example of symbolism, showing that Watashi isn't a lost cause, as there is still color behind him that will stay there. If his life had no potential, then the color behind him would be as pale as his skin. As for what the specific colors symbolize, I don't really know, but I'll be going into the ending and how the colors come together in Watashi's tatami room. In the last couple episodes, Watashi retreats to his pale-colored tatami room and doesn't go outside or make any kind of decision for his campus life. He's a shut-in, afraid of the consequences of every single action he could take. However, no matter the colored tatami room he finds, which symbolizes every possibility he can make, there was always one opportunity dangling in front of him that he never took into account until he isolated himself. A rather simple opportunity that would allow him to escape the Tatami galaxy and to find a campus life that is full of multiple colors. There is no perfect one-note life. Humans make mistakes. Nothing can be one color and sparkle. The true sparkled canvas is one that has multiple colors. Opportunity is always in front of you, and if you overthink your own situation and focus too much on the big picture, then you can miss something positive that is dangling right before your eyes. If you do that, you'll find a life that won't be bogged down by misery. That is the main message of the Tatami Galaxy. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.
私が選択すべきはもっと別の可能性だったかも。1回生の頃に選択を誤ったのかもしれない。
可能性という言葉を無限定に使ってはいけない。君はバニーガールになれるか、パイロットになれるか、アイドル歌手に必殺技で世界を救うヒーローになれるか。
なれません。
なれるかもしれん。しかしありもしないものに目を奪われてはどうにもならん。自分の他の可能性という当てにならないものに望みを託すことが諸悪の根源だ。今ここにいる君以外他の何者にもなれない自分を認めなくてはいけない。君が有意義な学生生活を満喫できるわけがない。私が保証するからどっしり構えておれ。